if somebody has not lived through it, or if they're not in a position to, it's not their season to go through that type of life learning, you know. um the best way to, for the listeners, um to, if you got it, you got it. But those who might just need a little bit of help, a junior in college is going to understand,
Mm,
hopefully understand concepts a little bit better than an eighth grader,
right,
because that's their
right.
season. That's the season that they're in. They're in that type of learning environment that challenges them at the level of a junior in college in their whatever professed degree. An eighth grader is about to go and learn geometry and trig, and or they might be learning pre-calculus or something like that, and you, depending on what degree, you might not even have to deal with that. So that's the
Right.
equivalent. Like, that's how I just approach that. It's just not their season. It's not their season to have that lesson. And
Hmm.
I don't try and force, well, you need to understand. It's like, you, when the time comes, this will either resurface
Yeah.
or it'll come up in a different way. So I just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to look at things. Yeah. Well, I agree.
Yeah. So
Well,
when,
if it's not the time, then yeah.
yeah,
Please go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
So in your relationships now, Mo, um,
Hmm.
do you find safety, if I want to, do you find safety in having masculine friendships across cultures?
I
Like,
do. Hmm.
really? Okay, can you
Yeah,
explain?
yeah, yeah. So, so I always find safety because I'm like super new here. And,
Hmm.
and who else can I rely on?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, who
yeah.
else can I rely on? If something happens to me tomorrow and I need some help, I can like call you up and you'd be here. But if I don't have that masculine circle around me who I can trust with my life on it and things like that, then I'm just gonna be very scared of life and not be my authentic self because if something bad happens, I know okay, my friends, my boys are there, they'll take care of it. And if I get in jail for some reason, which I hope I never go, but things can happen, like anything can happen. So I at least know, okay, these are my friends, they'll take care of me, they'll get me out, they'll do this, they'll do that. But if I don't have the masculine circle, then as a guy, I cannot rely on my female friends to like help me out.
I see.
Because yeah, they they can help me out in certain things. But as a guy, I need my guy friends, like who I can trust and I can like really, really trust. Because I'll give you an example. Like in my hometown, Jaipur, I have my two friends, Abhi and Ujjwal. I can like trust them with my life, and they can do the same thing with me. And when I'm around them, I'm so confident. Like, I get superpowers because I know like anything happens, they're there. They can take care of me. However, in America, because I'm a little new, I haven't had time to, because it takes time with the friendship and circle. You have to go through ups and downs together with like guys, and then your bond gets deeper and
Mm,
deeper. So they have been my friends since like 15 years. So I can trust my life on them, and I know like anything bad happens, okay, these guys are there. They'll take care of everything, everything. But yeah, I feel like masculine circle for a guy is so important. And a lot of guys don't have friends like this. That's why they live in fear.
mm,
They don't become their authentic self because they know like if anything goes bad, no one's behind me. So
mm.
they're just gonna like
Yeah.
fall off completely. So that's why they're so scared of like speaking the truth. And like that's why they like try to blend in so much. I really feel like it. But if you have like friends who are like strong and who can like take care of you, you don't have to like, take any bullshit from anyone. Or like for like, you don't have to be scared or you don't have to be pessimistic. You can be like active and like, try to go through the life. Yeah. Do you think?
You that you said something very, very key there that most people don't say out loud, right? It's the I wrote a book about it, right? How there are certain things that a man can only get from other men. some of those attributes or polishing or nurturing type of things, they're unspoken because men understand that. It's like if
Mm.
I am in a situation and it's somewhat degrading or devaluing or it's not showing me in the best light, I would
Hmm.
much rather trust that with one of my bros
Yeah,
who
totally.
they will be there, they'll help me and things like that. We may or may not have a conversation about it, but it's
Hmm.
the unspoken understanding because they also carry the same type of weight, right? They carry the same type of
Yes.
pressure
Yes.
of understanding what it means to be a man in society to deal with something like
Right.
I have a buddy of mine, um, the
Hmm.
Captain Awesome, who is the co-host for the Locker Room Talk series. Um, I
Hmm.
can call him or talk to him or ask him for some help with something, and because he knows me and he sees what I'm
Right.
doing, what I'm trying to accomplish, and he knows how challenging it is for me to reach out for that type of assistance, not because I'm prideful,
Right.
but because it's like I don't want to be a burden for anybody. But
Yeah, exactly.
I also know that if I need help, I need help. I can ask him for help. He will help me. We may or may not have a
Right.
conversation. He may crack a joke or two about it, depending on what it is. But at the end of the day, within that hour, I will have his help,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So I
Right.
completely get that
Right.
because a lot of people think, oh, I don't need anybody. It's like, okay, there's a difference between surviving and thriving. And if you don't have friends,
Right.
right, people think that, oh,
Right.
I don't need friends. I don't need people. It's like, no, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this statement, whether people think I can or not. If you don't have that type of friendship around you, you're not thriving at all. You're barely
Yeah.
surviving. You are
Exactly.
barely surviving because when things hit the fan and you're left alone, isolated by yourself, and who's helping you, right? It's like two are warmer together, right? You if you're in the freezing
Yeah.
cold, you can't warm yourself. It's like when you at least have two people, at least you have that type of body heat. You have
Yeah.
people that can pull you up if you're down. It's like if you fall, you have somebody else that can help you get up. It's like, so when you think that
Yeah.
this lone ranger solo wolf type of thing,
Yeah. The lone wolf. Yeah, I
yeah,
was about to say the same thing. That doesn't exist.
the
You
the
can
only
only go so far if you're lone wolf. Like,
the
yeah,
only time you see
there's so yeah.
that wolf is either sick, something's going on with that
Mhm.
wolf, or it's about to die. That's the only time you see wolves by themselves, or they're lost or separated
Right.
from their pack. Those are the three things. It's like I'm a
Yeah.
lone wolf.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're either about to die, you're sick, or you are separated from your community.
Yeah, because you did something wrong, and then
Yeah,
they don't want your energy around the group
yeah,
or the
yeah, yeah,
pack anymore. So that's why you were like, you know, exiled or something like that. Yeah, I mean, totally agree. Like a lot of people think, oh, I'm a lone wolf or like Sigma male or like, they have like different names for it and stuff like that.
yeah.
That doesn't exist at all. Like
It doesn't.
I
It
would
doesn't.
want to have 10 friends who I can trust with my life rather than being alone, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
It's
because they can
marketing.
help me out anytime,
Yeah,
anytime. It's marketing. And yeah, and you want like different brains working together for a single mission. Because when I say I have brothers who I can rely on, they're all, as you said, like they're all working towards a
yeah.
single, we're all like focused. We
Mm-hmm.
believe in the same things. We're trying to better ourselves, better our families, take care of our society. We're all trying to do the same thing. So anytime we see anyone struggling, oh, let's lend him a help and a hand, and let's pull him up, so that in case when something happens with me, they all can do the same thing. And we're all trying to like uh thrive and like do better for our lives, family, everyone. But yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need anyone. I think these are the people who are like socially isolated, and their ego is like, maybe sometimes like too much. They think, oh, I'm the smart one, because everyone actually thinks that they're the smart one. You know, a lot of people think that no, they're like some kind of godly, intelligent being, and everyone around them is like dumb. No, bro, no one is dumb.
Yeah.
Everyone is as intelligent. But You know what happens? Why a lot of people, why a lot of dudes don't have like people they can rely on? Because let's say if I'm hanging out with you, so a lot of people don't have the social capacity to to like so let's say if let's say we're both driving to a spot, so obviously I would feel the best when the music is of my choice. However, I also need to understand that you're also sitting there. Maybe you will let me play the songs, but you would also want to hear some of your songs.
Mm,
So I would have to compromise. So if you look in that way, so I would have to compromise a little bit, or maybe a lot, because if I really don't like your kind of music, then I'm like compromising myself, but I'm compromising it for you.
mm,
It takes like a bigger heart to be able to compromise yourself. Or let's say we're both hanging out and I want to eat a certain food. Obviously, you may like it, you may not like it. But if we're still eating the food that I like, then you're again compromising your favorite food and you're paying for it for me, because for you the relationship's more important than any random food or like
yeah.
the music in the car. But for a lot of people, they're so self, this thing, they cannot even compromise even a single bit for the friends, or like for the that's why they don't have like diehard friendships, because oh, they just want everything to happen like they want,
Hmm.
which is I mean, so then you have to be a lone wolf,
Yeah. Yeah.
play the music that you want, live the way life that you want. Because obviously, if you're gonna share your life with other humans, their preferences are gonna come and they might clash. But you have to adjust and compromise for the bigger picture.
Mm,
So you
hmm.
have to like compromise in a smaller way, but in a bigger picture, a bigger things of life, you're gonna get much more in return. So why not do that? A lot of people are so stupid and dumb enough to not even understand like those things,
Yeah.
and that's why they don't like they never come out of their bubble, and they don't have like strong friendships. Because if they cannot compromise for the other person, then why the hell will the other person ever compromise anything for you?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. And that's why they're like lonely and like alone forever. I've noticed a lot this habit of people, like the people who don't have big circle or like good friends to rely on, because they're not a reliable person themselves.
This is true.
Nobody would rely on them, right?
This is true.
Yeah, that's why.
This is
Yeah.
so true. It's like because you talked about it. I'm not a big person on compromise, but what I am, and there's another word I use is witnessing. I use witnessing a lot. And what's the word I'm looking for? I don't have an issue. I'm
Mhm.
not so rigid in who I am that there's no space for other people.
Yes, yes.
I
And
make
when I say
space.
compromise, yeah, yeah. And I'm so sorry to interrupt here. I feel like,
No,
so
go for
when I
it.
said
Go
like
for it.
compromise, like, yeah, thank you. So I don't want to compromise my beliefs, or like, like my beliefs or values. Like, never ever compromise on your beliefs and values and stuff like that. But on like smaller things, like who cares? Right? I think you're saying the same thing, like,
Yeah.
like as a person, I don't want to compromise on myself and my values. I'm not gonna do bad to someone because other people are doing bad. And, like I still want to hold my values and my beliefs, but it's okay to like compromise on small things. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I want to hang out there, but my friend really wants to hang out there, so I would like, okay, leave it. We'll go to your place and,
Hmm.
do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like things like that. Like I make space for people because it's like I may not agree, like I may not like that, or you may not like this, but I care
Yeah.
enough uh I care enough about you that I'm willing to
Yes.
express my interest in getting to know you. And I can't do that if I don't let you show up. Right. You
Yeah.
have to show
Yeah.
up, and that's your likes, your wants, your desires. And I can't turn my nose up at it because that's what you like. I was like, oh, thank you for sharing
Yeah.
this part of me, this part of you with me. Now I have a better understanding and
Yeah.
I can see you clearer because you've allowed me to witness you. And so I will
Right.
show you who I am, and then you can express your own
Yes.
interest in wanting to get to know me. And that's what what we miss a lot of times in relationships is that we don't express the interest in getting to know, or the express interest for the other person. We all Most of society just wants somebody to express an interest in them. It's like it's me, 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 me. Okay, enough about
Yeah.
me. What do you think about me? And it's just me, 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 and I. It's like, okay, what about you? It's like, tell me about you.
Yeah.
Tell me, I would like to know
Yeah.
how your day was. Tell me what interests you, what what motivates you, pushes you, challenges you,
Yeah.
your thoughts. Because it's like, I
Right.
know who I
Right.
am. I don't need, it's, I don't want to sound arrogant. It's like, I know who I am. I don't
But
need you to tell me who I am, type of thing. It's like,
yeah.
I've sat with myself long enough. I'm tired of looking at myself. How are you?
Yes. Yes.
you know
Exactly. And we have to give the other person space, or we cannot just choke someone and expect them to be like loyal to us, or like those kind of things. We have to give them the space and to be there, so a little bit, compromise and adjust, and
yeah,
watch a movie which my friend wants to watch instead of the movie that I wanted to watch. And if I really really wanted to watch a movie, they would compromise their movie for me. I just have to, like, adjust, like, yeah. So let's say there's like two artists which are coming in the town. So I'm a diehard fan of one artist. The other artist which is coming, my friend really likes it, but not the diehard fan. So I would expect them to like compromise on, and if the show is going on the same day, so I would expect them to compromise for my artist. And if their diehard artist is coming and this is the artist which I like, I would like to be there, but they like it so much, I'm like, okay, let's go to yours. I just
yeah,
say simple things, and a lot of people are, they don't want to compromise at all. They don't want to adjust at all. They want things their way. They want everything to happen their way, which is obviously not good. I mean, no one's gonna be friends with you, and it's gonna have a small little circle, and maybe not even that. A lot of people are just lonely. They don't even have a single friend to like call upon. A lot of the times, like we're also isolated, and we have like our own little bubble with our mobile phones and the things that we watch, because I'm sure there's not going to be any two people who have the same content on their phone, coming out of Instagram or TikTok. So of course they're going to be like different people, but they try to find someone who is exactly like them, which obviously cannot happen. Like, everyone's different, so
yeah,
you can try to find someone who is like you, at least 50, 60, 70%, but there's never gonna be another Mo or like Mr. Locker Room. So like there's zero chance I would find my other, like my twin or something like that, like real twin. So but a lot of people don't want to like compromise even a little bit. So but that's why they're so lonely. Like, the masculine realm is so lone. Like, dudes here are so lonely. Like, it's insane. Like, it's so sad. They're so lonely because they don't have any girls to talk to, and they don't even have the boys to talk to. They're just like living in their own bubble, and
yeah.
which is insane, and getting depressed.
And they're
Yeah,
like,
and
oh,
getting
because I'm a
depressed.
leader. It's like, no, no,
No,
no,
you're
no,
not.
no,
No, you're
no.
not.
Yeah, because it's like,
A real leader sacrifices and
yeah,
compromises and let
yeah,
other people do their own thing and like find happiness in the happiness of other people.
yeah. And
Right?
you you're a
Yeah.
leader. They're like, they use that whole alpha thing. They say, oh, I'm an alpha person. I'm a leader. I said, okay, well then why is it that when you turn around, you have no followers?
Yeah.
If you're a leader, right,
Yeah.
then you should have people who want to follow you,
Want to be with you,
right?
who are like
Not who
attracted to
feel like they
you.
have to follow you because you're gonna hurt them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's so true. That's so true.
This is a great way to segue into our next segment, which is our segment four, because this is you. This is so you. This one is like young, free, and feeling it, and and
Yeah.
that's a good thing because when we first met, that I was like, this is so Mo right here, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
the going out,
So excited for this
going home.
segment. Yeah.
We're now in segment four, which is this is so Mo, and I know this is what Jonathan. Jonathan is my AI assistant, who is like a digital brother for me. For
Yeah.
those of you all who don't know, if this is your first time here, welcome. Most of you all have already
Yeah.
heard about Jonathan, but don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way you can be informed. And when we come back on, you don't want to miss the conversations here. We have wonderful stuff. All social media platform Locker Room, LCKERROOM. Or if you're trying to find us
Mhm.
on YouTube, well, you're already here, but if you want to share it, just do Mr. Locker Room in your search and it will pull up. So, going out culture, nightlife, flirting, and dating, right? So that's
Yeah.
that's so you, but I'm not like saying like in a negative way. It's like because that's
No, I
how,
feel you. I feel you.
yeah, that's how we actually
Yeah.
met when I was out with a buddy of mine
Yes.
supporting his wife at
Right.
an event, and you were there. That's how we met. So like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
how how does that impact you? Like the whole going out culture.
Yeah. No, I think it has changed my life. It has changed my perspective in a lot of ways. A lot of people, when they hear about going to clubs and going out and like partying and stuff like that, they think it's like a degen way of like like living like a degenerate. Oh, you're just like wasting your life. Oh, you're just like getting drunk in the club and stuff like that. But it's for me, it's I look at it in such a different way, in a much more spiritual way, I would say. I mean, of course, you get girls, and like club is very attractive. But the way I think about club is so different because I think a club for a guy or for a girl, for that matter, it's a mirror. Like because it's a marketplace. What kind of marketplace? Sexual marketplace. So, because club is the only place where people test their best. Like
Mm-hmm.
if they have like a nice physique, they want to wear a little tighter clothes so that their body can come out. And if girls have, the girls try to wear short clothes so that they can beautiful so that their beautiful body can like come up and show up. Like no one's trying to like cover themselves in a club. They want like, because it's a sexual marketplace.
Mm.
And what happens when you go to club is a lot of the dudes, the problem is they're like, oh no, I don't want to go in the club. Oh, it's too stupid for me. Oh, it's too dumb. But what they don't realize is that they're missing out on a mirror because because again it's a sexual marketplace and you get priced immediately. Like as soon as you walk into a club, if none of the girl wants to talk to you, they're not coming up to you. And when you're going to the girls, they're just like ignoring you, then that's a mirror. Like, you need to reflect on yourself. Not you, like, the guy needs to reflect on yourself. Yeah. Because I know you get a lot of attention, so I'm not talking about you at all. But let's say if a guy walks into a club and like no one wants to hang out with them, no one wants to even talk to them, no one wants to get to know them, be it a girl or a guy. I mean, there can be like more direct mirror in your life because compared to that to a guy who walks into a club and girls wants to talk to him, boys wants to talk to him. If he's approaching any girl, she's like taking interest. That is such a big mirror because if like no one is interested in like talking to you, then you need to do some work. Because in a sexual marketplace, like in the club, you get your price tag. Like something that's expensive or like something super cheap. So you're probably like super like some the guy's probably super cheap. No one's interested. And it acts like a mirror. And the other thing which I love about going to clubs is this is a place where you can practice your social skills so
Mm-hmm.
much, get to understand how people think, how what people do, because in the club everyone's drunk. So everyone's like super open, like much, much, much more open than in a real life as you would meet a stranger. So you can be friends with someone really quick and you can improve your social skills really fast because you're gonna get feedback immediately because everyone's drunk. There's no filter. So if you're funny, people are gonna laugh harder. If you're boring, people just like walk out, which doesn't happen in real life because we have our filters and we want to be, but when you're drunk, there's nothing. So I think and I've seen it personally. Like I know guys who do a lot of clubbing, and it may impact them in a short way because I mean, they could be like sitting at home and working on a project or something. But like in
Mm-hmm.
like larger scheme of life, the dudes that I know who go to clubs often, or like once not like every day or something, but at least like this thing go to club, they are so much socially, emotionally aware of the other people, and also their social skills are much, much, much better than the people who never go to club. And when I say this, it's not that if you don't go to club, you're gonna be socially awkward. It's
Mm,
definitely not
yes.
that. Like not everyone, but if you go to clubs often, there are chances that you are like compared to a person that you don't like who doesn't go to clubs, your skills are gonna be better. And also going to club is like participating in the sexual market. And as a guy, we are biological. We have to have our offsprings in. And so where do you like? Obviously, the club is not the place to find a wife or a husband. However, there are like much better places to find a real partner. However, if not going to club is almost equivalent to I do not want to participate in the sexual marketplace, which means that you're not interested in having offsprings or like you're as a guy at least. Because if you're not participating in the sexual marketplace, that means that you're just like giving up on the life. Like, oh, I would rather masturbate and like live in my room than going to a club and try to find a partner, because a lot of these guys, when they go to club, like no one talks to them at all. So they get super disappointed and they don't ever want to go to a club again. Instead, what a person with an optimistic and positive mindset can do is, oh shit, I went to the, because I remember when I was young, I would just walk into a club and like no one would want to talk to me, which hurted me so much. And as a guy, I need like pain. I need like, hurt. And I would like go work out and work on my body, work on my social skills so that the next time I go to a club, at least someone talks to me, at least a girl talks to me, at least I get her Instagram or her number, and then because I was working on myself, because I was getting like mutually rejected in the club, things started to get better and better. And now I was like, okay, I got this girl's Instagram or message, but when I texted her the other day or the same night later, she didn't reply. That would hurt my ego so much. I was like, no, if I knew how to talk better, she would reply. If I had more money, she would reply. If I was dressed up nicer, she would reply. So it becomes like a loop of like feedback, like instant feedback. Okay, I've gained weight. So imagine if I gain like 20 pounds and if I go to club then of course the response that I'm gonna get is gonna be like much, much, much low than what I was getting when I'm like slim and handsome. So which is gonna impact me. So I should be like using that feedback to like get in shape so that the next time I go, I have more uh in social interactions and stuff like that. But a lot of guys don't like going to club, and these are usually the guys who do not want to participate in the sexual marketplace. And as a guy, I really believe if you're not participating in a sexual marketplace, then you're just like cooked, because that's the most primal drive of a guy, to have offsprings and to leave a legacy. And because as a guy, I have a certain beliefs and values, but I'm gonna die. My physical body is gonna die. But if I have offsprings, my beliefs and values are gonna get transferred, and my son or my daughter, they're gonna like propagate my beliefs and ideas. So but if someone's like, oh, I don't want to go to a club, because that just means like they know they're a loser and they're gonna like stay like a loser forever, because they're not participating in the market. But imagine creating imagine like designing a hoodie and you never launch it. So how are you gonna improve the hoodie? How is your business is gonna get better if you like never launch it in the marketplace?
Yeah.
If it's bad, no one's gonna buy it, but now okay, it's bad. So I have to improve it. Maybe change the logo, change the design, change the color, change the material, and then try. Maybe they're still not buying it. So you like do some again changes, and now they started buy this. In the process, your product become much better. And in the sexual marketplace, we are the product. So if I'm never going into the market and getting the feedback and the reviews, how I'm gonna improve myself and be better. So that's what I think. And again, when I say that, it's not that every guy needs to like. If someone doesn't go to a club, he's gonna not gonna be a good dude. No, there are exceptions always, but in a very generalized way, if you're not participating in the sexual economy, then your product's just gonna be like because there's like another guy. There's always competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always competition. The competition is so high. So you want to like compete, 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 get the feedback, compete, 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 and one day you will win something. That's what I think.
No, no, you,
That's
yeah.
why I go to club. That's why I go to club. And you know me, like so I was a guy like who like people of course don't know me much. So I was a guy who used to go to clubs like on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and drink. Then I stopped drinking. Then I stopped drinking for 3 years. But I was still in the clubs, not drinking, just sipping water. Not because of like, hey, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna get blacked out drunk. I was not even drinking anything. I was just in the club to get the feedback. And I was so serious about it because I told you I think of clubbing like in a very spiritual way, which is funny. But but I was there to get the feedback and to improve my social skills and to like improve on myself because I also think like when you're in a club, because we only get weekends because your social skills only improve when you talk to people who don't know you already. If you're talking to people who already know you since years, your social skills like there's like there's your social skills are not gonna improve as much. But when you're with people that you've never met, you've never spoken to. So, of course, you have to be a little bit more funny so that they keep talking to you. You have to be more charming. You have to be more charismatic so that they would still talk to you because they don't know you. Why would they? Why would like anyone would talk to the guy? So that's the only place where like weekends are the only times when we get a chance to interact with people who we don't know. And when we're in a club, everyone's drunk. When we're in a bar, everyone's drunk. So it's very easy to make friends and break the barrier of like not knowing anyone and like talk to them and improve your social circle so that next time when you're in a meeting with people full of like with people like of, a room full of people who you don't know, you don't like shy away because you've been like
Mm-hmm.
practicing with unknown people and so you can hold the meeting, you can like do certain things. So that's how I feel. Like loving and dating in nightlife and the sexual marketplace.
Well,
Yeah,
you talked a lot on a lot of things here too. It's like being emotionally aware while still
yeah,
enjoying, the wildness of it, right?
right.
Which is not some people will say, oh, that's just being wild. Other people, maybe you are not somebody who goes out to the club, but you go to different events, right? Different
Yes,
social
yes,
gatherings, like whether it's aligned with
yeah,
your areas of interest, right? I know somebody who
right,
loves going to art galleries, and they go to the
right,
art galleries and they meet people, or they go to open
right,
mics and poetry
yeah,
slams and things like that. So they're getting
right,
out and they're
yeah,
still able to engage in the social
right,
aspect. They can dress up,
right,
they can
right,
look
exactly.
nice, smell good, put on their best foot
Yes,
forward type of thing, and they can
right,
still get that feedback. So I know exactly what you're talking about because
yeah,
it's the culture of going out. Because I told somebody the other day, uh, I said I can't expect people to see me if I'm never visible.
yeah,
It's like, man, I
yeah,
don't meet anybody. I can't find anybody. I don't have a. I want to be in a relationship and all these different
yeah.
things. But it's like, okay, well, you never leave your room.
Yeah, yeah.
So
How
how
your
do you?
soulmate is gonna find you
Yeah, yeah.
ever?
And then people are like, well, I'm just gonna pray. I was like, unless there's a joke that this there's a lady
Okay,
made on Instagram about praying for a husband and things like that, and she did a split. You know how they she's over here doing one aspect of herself and she's recording herself as another aspect of herself,
okay, okay.
and they're responding. She's
Yeah,
like, I'm just praying, and this other one is like, hey, you're gonna have to get out of your house. It's like, they're gonna have to be the postman gonna have to come to my house. It's like, your postman gonna meet you at your PO box. You gotta you, you gotta leave out so that people can see
exactly.
you. And I just think it's very interesting too,
Because it's
because
hard. And
it
yeah,
is
please go
very
ahead. I'm sorry.
challenging.
Yeah, it is hard to go out and to be in there in the market because you're not always, because if you stay in your room, there's no feedback. And
Even the
from
grocery
a
store.
human ego, yeah, from an ego perspective, no feedback is better than bad feedback. Like if I'm just thinking about pure egotistical way, because my ego doesn't get hurt when I have zero feedback, but it really gets hurt when I get a negative feedback. So because I don't want to get the negative feedback, so I'm just gonna like stay in the room. That's what a lot of people do. Instead, because they're not open for the negative feedback, which other people are gonna give them by not looking at them at all, which is a negative feedback. No one's looking at me. No, yeah, of course not. You're like fat. You don't work out. Why would anyone look at you? So a lot of people are just like avoiding the feedback because they think no feedback is better than zero feedback. And like
Mm-hmm.
as you said, like they're not gonna show up in the mailbox or like you're not just like accidentally meet them and they're gonna show up on a doorstep and like God's gonna because praying is easy. The hard work, it's hard to get the negative feedback. So when
Mm.
I'm going to the clubs, still this day, so like bro, if I'm getting let's say 4 or 5 Instagrams, I don't use I don't do this, as we were last time we were hanging out together. I don't use I don't do this anymore, but when I used to. talk to girls and like do like cold approaches and like all that kind of stuff and ask for the Instagram or the number, half of them wouldn't even like reply.
Mhm.
Like if I'm getting like five Instagram or like five messages, maybe one or two will reply. Three or four of them wouldn't even like request to follow me or like reply to me, which is a bad, it can affect you. It can like really affect you. Oh my God, why they are not replying to me? But so what I would do is I would use that negative feedback and channel into like working out and like doing more sets, thinking about, oh, she didn't reply to me.